Frank, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, bro. It's been way too long.
Well, you're a busy guy, and I respect that.
We've been trying to connect for a while here. So I got to be honest with you. I'm happy that we finally accommodated.
Thank you, Frankie. I appreciate it. So you've had a career that's part bodybuilding, part courtroom drama, part stand-up comedy. How do you even introduce yourself these days?
So, dude, honestly, basically a jack of all trades, an expert in none.
I
Right?
like that. You're a stud and you're humble, and that's
Yeah.
an unbelievable trait. No wonder Brittany loves you.
I don't know about a stud, man. I think a stud that probably left me about 15 years ago. All right. At this point in my life.
Frankie, I got to be honest. I don't throw around compliments very much, so I'm being genuine.
You got it,
got
man.
it going
Thank
on.
you, brother.
Look at those
We
beautiful teeth.
You like them?
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, believe me. They weren't cheap. All right.
Nothing that's great is, right?
Right, exactly, bro. For sure, man.
So let's start with Mr. New Jersey. How did it all begin? And what was your biggest challenge competing at that level?
I got into it. I got into weight training because of football. All right.
Okay.
And then once you start weight training for football, you see yourself, you see the results, and quite honestly, you become addicted. All right. It's because it's just not, working out. It ends up being a lifestyle. And from one point when you first started, you're in it for one reason, as opposed to now at my age, I'm in it for another reason. All right. I like the results that I was getting. I got to be honest with you. I like the confidence that it gave me as well. And, I like the attention is on top of everything else. All right. So I found that, and, God bless me with some decent genetics. And I tried to take it from there, and I did. All my shows worked out very well. Unfortunately, when I was trying to get to the next level with a pro card, I tore my pec really bad. And I was involved with so many different business transactions at the time that I didn't go and get it fixed. And when a year later, when I attempted to go get it fixed, Bill, no doctor would touch it, all right,
Yeah.
or give me any kind of guarantee because it was a muscle tear from muscle. It wasn't a muscle from a bone. So listen, at that point, I knew my competitive career was over with, but I still now go to the gym for a different reason, all right? Obviously, you try to keep yourself in shape, but now it's stress relief. If I don't make it to the gym, I overwhelm with stress. I truly do. So it started at one point in my life that it served this purpose, and now as time went on, I continue to go to the gym, as I said before, as a lifestyle, and now it serves a different purpose.
I can so appreciate your answers. When I first met you, I found you on social media, and we connected right away. My background resonates with me on a lot of levels.
Exactly.
The addiction part of it, the lifestyle, the discipline, the attention, all that plays into it. Now, I'm like you. It's not only a stress relief, but it's making our lives great in the long run. Like, we got another
Absolutely.
30 years in us. Let's make it our best day. So, man, does your answer resonate with me? But I have a question. What was there a moment backstage that you'll never forget?
I got to be honest with you. It probably had nothing to do with me. It probably had to be one of the guest posers at one of the shows back then. And whether it would be, I'm trying to think who I had: Victor Martinez, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, and just seeing these guys in person. And listen, I know they weren't in show shape at the time, but they were just massive. I mean, they gave you a goal to go after. You look at them and say, "Damn!" It was definitely motivational. Definitely motivational. All right. And one thing I forgot, Bill, which I'm sure you probably feel exactly the same way, is the entire working out, the entire gym atmosphere, and the way we made a way of life. All right. It also gives you the determination and a dedication, which you try to take into every other aspect of your life, including your business part of it. All right. And that's what I try to do. I don't know. I got to be honest with you, I don't know how to do something half-ass. All right. Everything is full throttle.
Frank, that another thing that resonates with me, like,
Yes.
I have been rich twice and poor twice.
Yes.
And I've been on both sides of the street. Having money makes life more fun with experiences. But gosh darn, Frank, I'll say this humbly. I've never failed at something because I don't quit. And good and bad, because there's that one day a month, you're like, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just get up in the day, just coast through life? It's just not the way we're wired.
No,
you know?
never, man. And I gotta be honest with you, people ask all the time, oh, when are you going to slow down? When are you going to retire? I'll never retire.
Right.
Financially, I don't think the lifestyle I set up, I don't think I could ever retire, first of all. And second of all, I just don't see, let me tell you where I am right now. All right. Come down to Shore House on the weekends. Okay. My happy place. All right. Not only is it my wife come and my mother-in-law, but my dad and my stepmother come down here, and it's just quality time. And I
Right.
see the way everyone enjoys the house. As the children get older, it's the one place that you get to see them, because you never get to see them otherwise when they're not living home. It's just life's good, man. Life's good.
I love it. I love
I've been blessed, and I have obstacles every day, and I got things that annoy me, and I yell and scream every single day. But I got to be honest with you. I have it tattooed on my back, Bill. Every day is a gift, not a given right, and I
it.
truly
Right.
do feel it.
That's so true. How did you leap from flexing on stage to the arguing cases in the courtroom?
It was the weightlifting and the bodybuilding, which basically took me. And I've always been, I consider myself to be somewhat of an outgoing person, all right? But I didn't have the confidence, all right? And the bodybuilding brought the confidence. And when you're in front of a jury, you're in front of a judge, it's all about confidence and preparation, all right? And if you're
Right.
there, and now I look back, any kind of butterflies I may have had, now there's nothing. I can get up in front of a crowd. I don't even care who it is, and I'll talk. We do videos all the time. It's listen. It is right now. I truly do go through life that the janitor is no different than a CEO, and vice
Right.
versa. All right, and I try to act the same way. All right, I try to act the same way when no matter who it is.
You said something again that resonated a lot, and I'm ad-libbing this, to be honest. Confidence and humility, I think, is one of the most amazing things. When you loop them together, it's the opposite of arrogance. Arrogance is hiding insecurity. I think you and I are the kind of guys that we're well aware of our strengths and well aware of our weaknesses, and we try to be our best version every day.
100%.
So, what was the
100.
funniest, most unexpected thing that ever happened to you as an attorney?
Oh, please. Honestly, I don't. Listen, there's been a lot of good things. There's been a lot of bad things as well. All right, for sure. I'm trying to think. My God, I listen. The thing, I came out of gym atmosphere. All right, so when I first started practicing, I did a lot of criminal work, and
Okay.
there's
It's
no
the gym,
surprise.
it goes with it.
Exactly. So I was known right off the bat. All right. As to listen, I mean, and it's one thing I did in my life. I live up to everything I've ever done. All right.
Right.
I own it. Okay. And yeah, were go-go bars a part of my growing up? Yeah, unfortunately, too far into my life. But when I first started, I represented every steroid offense. Somebody got arrested for steroids or any kind of go-go dancer. I would walk into the courtroom either with a dancer, all right, or I was, excuse me, what's up? Sorry, let me get rid of this. All right. Either with a dancer or basically some jack dude who just got arrested somewhere along the line.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. I can imagine some of your stories. All right, so we're going to switch gears. Marriage with Brittany.
Yes.
You and Brittany have a legendary marriage dynamic. When did you first realize you two had that kind of chemistry?
Because we laugh all the time. Honestly, I can't even tell you the last time we yelled at one another, even had an argument. All right. It's truly, she's a nice person. She's a good person at heart. The drama, there's no drama. The little things do not bother her. She lost her father about 10 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So she appreciates, what's not important. And it's good. And I don't know how many of my friends can say at the end of the day, and my days are usually, hectic and running around. I can't wait to go home. I can't wait to go home because I know when I get home, my wife is going to make my day better. And so, and then listen, there's an age gap between Brittany and I. It's never been an issue whatsoever. Never been an issue whatsoever. I try to keep myself in shape for my age. Brittany, is basically a 50-year-old in a 35-year-old body. And she's in bed by 9:30 sleeping. All right.
Right.
But yeah, we have fun. I don't think I've ever laughed more and had more fun with a partner my entire life than I do with her. And as you get older, I didn't anticipate to get married, nor did I ever think I was going to get married again. But it got to the point where, I don't want to grow old alone. And I'm never going to find something to be like her.
So who's funnier, you or Brittany?
We definitely have different senses of humor. Let's put it that way.
Okay. That makes sense. That's a good answer.
And she keeps me young. She does all these TikToks she does where she plays these tricks on me, all right, and scares the shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then next thing you know, the comments, oh my God, he's got anger management. You better, have him go to anger management. Does he beat you? Oh, hey, come on.
Wow.
Everybody's got something to say.
You know, funny you say that, Frank. I have a video on TikTok with 1 million views, just one, right?
Yeah.
And 5,000 people took the time to hate on me.
Dude, Bill, let me ask you a question. Bill, if you're going through Instagram, you're going through TikTok, all right? If you watch a video that you don't like, all right? You know what I do? What is wrong with what's wrong with these people? What's wrong with this world that you can really have to take time out of your day to insult somebody or say something negative about someone you don't even know?
Frank, you could not have said that better. It's absolute truth.
You know,
too many people sweat the small stuff, and there is a lot of negative energy out there. But I think it's a lot to do with one thing you realize is people don't criticize down; they criticize up, and that kind of goes with the territory. Right. And when somebody does that stuff, I just block them. I'm done with it. I don't try to talk them out of their opinion, you know?
And Bill, listen, everybody, it annoys the hell out of me is because, listen, our generation, you're growing up, face to face, you say something and you duke it out. Everybody's a keyboard warrior now, hiding behind a keyboard.
Right.
Mike Tyson put it great, everybody's a tough guy till you get punched in the face.
I would say 3,500 of my 5,000 comments on one video, they don't have a profile picture.
No, they never have a profile picture. Exactly. All right. Because they'll tell you, they'll insult you on a particular portion of your appearance. Okay. But they won't put theirs up there because God knows. All right. And I will never, I got to be honest, I will never body shame. I will never look shame. I never. Right. Because you never know. Even in the gym. And, I tend to gravitate towards the people I see in the gym working who are overweight because you never know what the background is. You never know what they have to face. You never know what the adversities were. But the fact is that they're there trying to do it. All right. I go out of my way to make sure that I try to talk to them and be comfortable.
It's funny you say that, Frank. Again, back when I was competing, people would call me arrogant because I was very focused. I didn't talk to anybody. I kept to myself. I was in there to win shows. And now when I get compliments, and I do, stop. I take time. I engage because that's the gift. Our age to get compliments, you count every one. And man, I engage with people. I'm like the nicest guy. And if my workout takes 15 minutes longer, who cares?
Exactly. This generation is different because, listen, you go to the gym, and for our age, we've kept ourselves in pretty good, what I consider to be decent shape for my age, and we're still bigger guys, I'm still 250. I'd like to be a little lighter, but it's still 250, and you walk in, you see these young guys who walk around like they're always carrying luggage, with their arms out. And the thing is, as they come walking towards you, all of a sudden you see their arms go up a little more. And then when they come towards you, I'm like, hey, bro, I said, bro, you look good, man. I gotta be honest, you look good, man. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. They don't even know how to accept a compliment. All right. Because they're not responding through a DM or something. And I always try to unarm them, all right, to take them down and tell them, listen, guys, your whole generation is just fucked up. All right. Seriously. All right,
and the etiquette in the gym, Frank, is unbelievable. I'll go to people, how many sets of sitting do you have? Or how many sets of text do you have? And they just look at you in disbelief, like, get up. It's not a chair. And I try to go in hours where it's not busy so I don't get frustrated.
Because back in our day, if we did that and there was an older person there and we were doing that, and they pick us up and throw us off the bench.
Oh, totally. You rotated through, you get 3 times as many people through the gym.
Exactly.
So, okay, what's one of your favorite marriage life stories that cracks you up?
Oh my God.
This is gonna be tough because you say you guys are funny all the time.
There's a lot of things. There's so many. I can't even pay. You threw this on me. I would have to think about which one's my favorite. But there's just so many. It's so many where it's just something stupid happens between the two of us. So you just start laughing hysterically.
Well, I do love that she tricks you and scares you. I think that's awesome. I will start paying attention to her videos more. Is she on TikTok more or Instagram?
She's on both, but the videos are on TikTok.
Okay, I can't wait to see those. Those are going to make me laugh.
There's some there. They're like where I'm eating sushi, and next thing you know, I'm spitting the sushi out. She just loves scaring the shit out of me. I tell you, one of the good things we did a TikTok and imitating the other person. All right, so I did 6 different things where her eyelashes were blue glasses, or she scared shit of a fly on the wall. All right, and I can be honest with you, that one got a really great response, and that one I enjoyed doing. So
yeah, that's good stuff. That's amazing. I'm going to switch gears to Frankie Jr., Gabby, and Dolores. Because you and I, again, have kind of similar paths with our ex. We made some decisions and they still love us. So let's talk about Frankie Jr. What's been the most rewarding part being his father?
Listen, one thing about my children, knock on wood, I've been blessed, all right? If anything, I won't ever fight it. Both my kids are workaholics, all right? My son, on a normal day, is spending 14 to 16 hours at work, all right? He works hard. He is driven to be successful, and not to successful even to the point where you and I would say, Bill, he's looking for that mountain way beyond that. All right. Son is a good kid at heart. He's not confrontational whatsoever. He sometimes in his prior relationship, he has a beautiful girl now who's now his fiance. He got engaged, so he's getting married next October. And he's had some women previously who, quite honestly, in my opinion, didn't treat him accordingly. But my son is never. He's so nice, all right, that he never takes it to the next level. And so there's so many things about my son Frankie. The way I say about my son Frank is Frank is a version of me without the bad parts. Right.
Okay.
That's what my son is. All right.
Okay. So I'm going to challenge you right now.
Yes.
It's more than a blessing. It's not an accident. Where he is at life has to do with you and Dolores. End of story.
Yeah. Again, I always say it all the time. So, everybody has heard it before. I'm blessed to have Dolores in my life, and the fact that we are a divorced couple and how she has kept our family together. She's always made sure that everything is together. The kids would not suffer as a result of it. And that's the way it is, whether it's my side of the family, her side of the family, but we're all together. When it's something for the children, we're all together.
So since we're on that subject, what is the secret to making that work? Because I have the same with my ex, Mike Land. She's my angel. She accepts me, and she's always brought the best out of me. And I knew she'd be a great mom and mitigate my weaknesses. She's incredible. But what is the secret to making that work, in your opinion?
To be adults, number one.
Okay.
Number two, you guys loved each other, and obviously, as a result, you produce your beautiful children. And they had nothing to do with the divorce. The divorce had nothing to do with them. So why should they suffer? Okay, why should they suffer? And Dolores was able to put aside the issues that we had in our marriage in order to keep our family together. So when you say why was it done, I would probably consider myself 25 to 30% responsible for it, as where Dolores is 70 to 75% responsible for it, to be able to put aside some of the things I did. Listen, Dolores is not perfect by far, but let's put it this way, she's closer to perfect than I am.
I'm more like 10% and 90%. Because Mike Land, you ever get to talk to her, it's amazing. She's incredible. Tell me a little bit about Gabby.
Gabby's a beast. Let me put it that way. Okay. My daughter's tough. My daughter's tough. My daughter's driven. She is, let's put it, I always say my daughter has a bigger set of balls than me. Okay. All right. She's a beast. I mean, not only can she physically fight, she's always wanted to do one thing in her life, and that was to be a veterinarian. She's an incredible veterinarian, doing surgery pretty much every day now. And her patients absolutely love her. Gabby is a driven person. Gabby is a very strong-minded person.
Okay.
And the one thing about my daughter, which I admire about her, all right, is this. Ever since she was young, she doesn't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks about her.
Nice.
Doesn't care. All right.
Except the people closest to her.
Yeah. And she's strong. She's a strong woman. She's a very strong woman. So,
wow. Well done, Frank.
Listen, she's got parts of me. We're very close. Myself and my daughter are close. But she's also got some parts of Dolores with respect to the temper. Gabby, if you pushed her, Gabby would throw it down real quick in a second.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Much sooner than my son. My daughter is confrontational when my son is not.
Interesting. I have one daughter that's very matronly and kind and nice. And then I have one who's the bodybuilder who's much more feisty, I'll call it.
Exactly right. Exactly. For sure.
So two different relationships, but it's incredible. So let's talk about training. You've been in fitness for decades. What's your training look like now?
Obviously, as you know, as we get older, all right, especially for the mere fact that, injuries have definitely modified my workouts over the years. Right. And now my biggest thing other than working out is I do not want to get injured. All right. If you get injured at this age, in order to come back is so much more difficult than it was before. At this point, what I do is I barely do any free weights. All right. Maybe biceps. Okay. But as for everything else, it's usually the plate loaded. It's a selectorized machine, because I'm afraid of any kind of a twitch, because no longer is it the muscles. I'm worried about the tendons. I'm worried about the joints. I'm worried about the ligaments now and everything else. So, and if I feel a twitch, rather than push those extra 3 reps, I don't do it anymore. It's not worth it. So I try to go hard. All right. But at the same time, I try to do it in a safe way.
Mindful. Exactly.
Again,
a lot that I do.
Right. Exactly. We have to modify it. We can't do what we used to do. We're not 25 years old anymore.
Right.
But at the same time, you get in there, but I do consider myself to work out pretty hard still. I try to hit. It's just the different workout.
I say the rule of thumb is work out harder than 90% of the people in the gym. If you're in that top 10%, you're good to go.
Exactly right. You know, I look
And
around
rubber bands and all that stuff, it's hard for me to condone that.
And guys, and listen, very similar to yourself. When you go to the gym, I'm like the mayor. I talk to everybody. All right. But the thing is, you're telling me something. You had a baby the week before. When the next time I see you, I know, how's the baby? How's your boy?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This one hurt their Achilles heel. I'll ask you, how was your Achilles heel? And that's why when I own gyms, I think, you know, people had so many choices, so many places to go. They came back there because they felt a personal connection. All right. I tried to push my front desk. Girls, you know, somebody comes in, you got two times. Second time in, you better know their name. All right. So without even looking up, you say, "Hey, how you doing, Bill? You know, how was your workout today? See you tomorrow." Okay.
You know what just struck me, Frank? Okay. We have a high level of drive and a high level of competitiveness. It's just the way we're wired. But I believe we both have very high EQs, means compassion, empathy, and be able to relate to people. And that is a very rare trait because most men are dismissive. They were growing up in families where don't cry, don't do this, and they can't relate to people. And it just dawned on me, you have a lot of empathy and compassion, and that's why you relate to people. And it's very rare.
Always, I'll be honest with you. It's a shame because, you know, as we get older, all right? Seriously, I watch Extreme House Makeover, I'll start crying now. You know,
I get it.
100%, and it is so. And you're nice. Everybody who comes up in the gym starts talking to you when they realize, you know, that you're not a musclehead. They say, "Oh my God, are you like a life coach or this or that? You know, can I pay you to do it?" Like, no, man. And, you know, you learn.
On the West Coast, there's not a lot of guys like you and me that have the drive,
right?
The competitiveness, the high EQ. Is the East Coast, there's more guys like that, or is it same experience?
There's not many, but I would probably think you might have a little more than the West Coast. All right.
Because family.
Yes, exactly. Right. So,
okay.
You know, the family's still important. We try to keep the family important. You know, and as I said before, to me, is the most important. It's the most important thing.
It is. So, segue into TRT. Are you on TRT? And if you care to share with my viewers what you take, I'd appreciate it or not.
Absolutely. All right. And I am all for it. All right. As long as people are smart. All right. When I used to train people, and I've taken 4 people pro already. All right. My motto was always more is not better. All right. More is not better. Have the knowledge of what you're doing. Okay. And doing combination together with something else that's going to work together as well. All right. And I'm a firm believer. All right. When we testosterone levels, you know, the production is reduced by so much. It changes every aspect of our life. I don't know about you, but when I'm on TRT, I'm thinking quicker. All right.
Oh yeah.
I don't have that 3 o'clock lull during the day when I want to take a nap. All right. So it does. All right. The fact that we're no longer producing testosterone that you've had in your body all those years just absolutely is a necessity now. All right. A lot of guys still who never tried it. I try to explain to them, guys, it's no longer taking a test in order for me to go in there because I want to put 30 pounds on. I want my bench to go up 50 pounds. No, it's basically to keep me to be able to have a good quality of life. All right.
Yeah.
To have a good quality of life. You know, to keep, and that's why I think, Bill, that's why I think basically that you know, we consider ourselves for our ages, you know, I think we look good. All right. People come up all the time. And the one thing I say, guys, they come up, "Oh my God, you're 61. I said, "Yeah, you look fabulous." I said, "But thank you very much. I truly appreciate that. But I still have a 61-year-old body. So you don't see me in the morning when I'm waking up trying to stand up straight, you know?"
Right.
Back in the day, man, me and you, in our days, remember, we used to just throw weights on there, heavy, bang, do whatever it took to get the weights up. You know, things have changed so much. And, you know, they should learn from our experience. And that's what a lot of people in the gym by me, once they find out that I'm not a standoffish guy, that I'm a nice guy, then they come up to me and now they're always asking you questions. What do you think about this? And I love to add advice. I love to give advice. I love to help people with respect to that. So, but back to the point. Yes, I do. I take TRT. I don't go much. All right. I don't go much. What I usually do is probably somewhere around 250 milligrams. And I switch from either test cypionate and test antonate. I probably take it once every 4 or 5 days, depending on where I'm looking at. If I got something coming up, this summer's coming up, I may throw something on top of it. All right. Together with the test, I may throw some kind of a masterone or some kind of a primobolan on top of it. All right. But no longer the days of the end. Well, first of all, I am absolutely not allowed by my secretaries, my wife, my family to do any kind of trend. All right. If you do that, we're divorcing. We're all leaving you. Okay.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So so the trend is the trend is off the table. All right. But otherwise, what I normally do is I will just do some kind of test, and I do change it. Because I do believe our body does get used to it and our
Yeah. Yeah.
receptors do get full. All right. So that's why I'll do, depending on the time of the year, I'll do something by way of a test sip. All right. I will do a test antenate. But most importantly, which people don't, especially if you're going to wean yourself off, you absolutely positively need to do a post cycle. All right. Otherwise, you're there. And my belief, which has always worked for me, all right, I am not, okay, you're done with your TRT. You're at the end of your cycle. Okay. Okay. Let's start your post cycle. No. All right. It's too late. Now you're chasing. All right. What I do in my situation is if I know I'm going to take a break just for a little while, I will start my post 2 weeks before I
Right.
end my TRT. And what I'll normally do is throw the ACG in there. I'll throw some Clomid in there. And then there's a 2 week overlap. And then I carry it for another 30 days. And I got to be honest with you. Normally you don't see any lull whatsoever at all.
Right.
All
That's
right.
great
At that
advice,
point,
Frank.
and that's what I'd like to do. And the main thing is, which I never did in the past when I'm young and competing and going crazy, I never got my blood work. Now, at my age, I get my blood work done all the time. All right. I want to know where my levels are at. All right. I go to a cardiologist, one major checkup a year. All right. Whether it be, it's a CAT scan, it's an EKG, you name it. Because when you're on the testosterone for so long, it's inevitable that the lining of your hearts and the muscle of your heart are going to thicken. All right.
Right.
So I have a great cardiologist who knows what I'm doing, and he works with me on it, and he tells me. So it be able to prevent what it could happen is so minimal. I don't, and I'm one of those people. I don't know why people don't do it. All
Right.
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 So I eventually started doing it. Now, because one of my best friends is a doctor. He's the one that made me go all the time. So I'm much more alert to other aspects of my health as a result of my TRT. All
Got it.
right. All right.
So I'm going to
All right.
go to another question. You've tried my fitness products, the burrito, the
Yes.
bowl, and the cookie. What was your
Yes.
favorite?
Absolutely. I got to be honest with you. When you got the burritos, all right, first of all, people have to understand something. All right. All right. I normally don't like burritos. Okay. Normally don't like burritos. So, all right. So you sent them over. I'm like, I don't know. Let me try. That's the first thing. Second thing is you pick them up. It's like a dumbbell. These things are substantial. All right. This is not like a fucking salad, guys. All right. So, and you threw them in a microwave, you heat them up. And Bill, don't take any disrespect. I was pleasantly surprised by how good they tasted.
Nice. Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised. And are they filling 100%? They're filling. They check all the boxes.
I'm going to segue into I'm starting a thing called the 1% Club. And it's guys that want to be in the best shape of their lives, live 10 years longer, embrace TRT. Because I've been rich and poor twice. And I have found the status you get from being ripped is more than mansion cars and yachts combined. Because nobody needs 9 bathrooms. It's to impress girls. Okay, we be honest. And I'm really excited about this 1% Club. And I want to know if you have any thoughts on the matter.
So 100%. And when I looked at what basically your dynamics were with respect to this club, all right, it fits my situation perfect, and it fits men, all right, who are coming up in age perfectly. All right. Just because you're getting up in age does not mean that you cannot take care of your body. Does not mean that you cannot do something to make your skin look better. All right. So there's so many aspects which are good about this 1% club. All right, that it's not only TRT. All right. It's a way of life entirely. It's a way of a diet. It's just your lifestyle. And exactly what you said. You want to know something? I do not want to look like the rest of the people at my reunions from high school when I go there. They look like my parents, okay? And I will fight that to the end,
Right,
Then when you go
right.
there, you look like you're their child, And if there's something that can help me in a safe way, which obviously your program is, all right? I look into everything. I do my research. I do my due diligence, whether it's this, whether it's a real estate deal, no matter what it is, all right? And yes, your 1% club is something that I fit into perfectly. And
Right on, Frank.
bro, any guy getting up there in age. And when I say getting up in age, guys, we're talking like 40 on. All right. This is not for 50, 60 years old. This is like for 40 on. You need to start early and you do it safe. It will not only is it going to make you live longer, it's going to give you a quality of life.
Yeah, yeah. Where can people find you if they want to connect?
I normally basically on social media, Frank Catania.sr. I got to make sure I put the SR in there because my son, Frank Catania, all right, believe me. So he's a good kid, man. He's a good kid. And my
All
son,
right, Frank, I want to wrap it up today, and I really appreciate everything you said. And I just thank you for your time.
yeah, my pleasure.